Nobody made a YouTube video about this. No one's posting this on Instagram. No one brags about it at dinner. But I'm going to tell you exactly what quietly saved me thousands of dollars. Not crypto, not some side hustle, not a secret investment strategy. Just 10 boring, unsexy habits. The kind that sound almost too simple to work. But when I actually ran the numbers, I was shocked. Because boring, done consistently, adds up to something that isn't boring at all. Let's go. Hi, I'm Rishi, and I want to be upfront about something before we start. None of these habits are impressive. Some of them are honestly a little awkward to admit, but they're real, they're mine, and the math behind them is very real too. So let's get into it. Habit 1. I stopped paying for things I forgot I owned. This one sounds embarrassing, because it kind of is. A couple of years ago, I sat down and actually listed every subscription I was paying for. I found a music app I hadn't opened in 11 months, a fitness app, ironic, that I used exactly twice. Total monthly cost of stuff I wasn't using, around $67 a month. I canceled all of it in about 20 minutes. And according to a 2026 Go Banking Rates study, 67% of Americans have already cut unused subscriptions this year. Now, I do a subscription audit every 3 months. Takes 15 minutes. Every single time, I find something to cut. Habit 2. I started cooking on Sundays. I know. Meal prep sounds like the most predictable advice on the planet, but hear me out, because the actual number surprised even me. I was spending roughly $55 to $65 on food delivery per week. Not big orders, just convenience. Tired after work, don't feel like cooking, order something. That's around $2,800 to $3,380 a year on food I barely remember eating. Now I cook on Sundays for 3 days ahead. Nothing fancy. Rice, proteins, roasted vegetables. Takes about an hour and a half. My weekly food cost for those 3 days? Around $25 to $30. I still eat out, just intentionally, not out of laziness. The annual saving on just this one habit? Roughly $1,500 to $2,000 from cooking on a Sunday afternoon. A 2026 Lens Pricer survey found that 69% of respondents are now preparing meals at home to save money, and the ones who invest that delivery savings into their 401k could see a 6-figure difference by retirement. That reframe, delivery money as future money, changed how I see it completely. Habit 3. I turned off one-click everything. This one took me longer to admit was a problem. I had one-click checkout enabled on basically every app: Amazon, food apps, clothing sites. And the frictionless purchase experience is designed brilliantly. No pause, no cart, no "are you sure?" Just tap, done, arriving Thursday. The behavioral science behind this is called friction reduction. Remove every obstacle between desire and purchase, and the rational part of your brain never gets involved. So I turned it off. All of it. Now every purchase requires me to manually enter payment details, which takes about 45 seconds. But those 45 seconds create just enough pause for my brain to ask, do I actually want this? Impulse purchases dropped dramatically. I can't give you a precise number here, but conservatively, this habit saves me several $100s a year, just from adding 45 seconds of friction. Habit 4. I automated my savings before I could spend it. This one isn't exciting, but it might be the most impactful on this entire list. I set up an automatic transfer to my investment account on the same day my income lands. Not at the end of the month, not whatever's left. The day it arrives, a fixed amount moves before I even see it. Behavioral economists call this paying yourself first, and the research behind it is consistent across decades of studies. People who automate savings save significantly more than people who manually transfer whatever's left, because leftover money doesn't exist. It gets spent. The amount I automated started small. It grew as my income grew, but the habit, not the amount, is the thing that built the muscle. Habit 5. I stopped upgrading things that still work. My phone was 3 years old last year. Perfectly functional, fast enough, good camera, and every month a new model dropped that I genuinely didn't need. The pressure to upgrade is real, not just from ads, from people around you, from the subtle message that your slightly older phone says something about you. I ignored it and kept the phone for another year. New flagship phones in 2026 average around $1,000 to $1,300. By not upgrading on a cycle I didn't actually need, I kept over $1,000 in my pocket. The same logic applies to laptops, headphones, appliances. If it works, it works. The upgrade isn't for performance, it's for the feeling of newness. And that feeling fades within a week, every time.
Habit 6.
I started using a high-yield savings account. This one genuinely annoyed me when I found out how long I'd been ignoring it, earning somewhere between 0.01% and 0.1% interest. Almost nothing. High-yield savings accounts in 2026 are offering rates between 4 and 5% APY. On $10,000 sitting in a regular account earning 0.1%, you earn $10 a year. On $10,000 in a high-yield account earning 4.5%, you earn $450 a year. Same money, same discipline, just a different account. That's $440 a year for doing nothing differently. It took me about 20 minutes to open the account and transfer the funds. I was genuinely annoyed at how simple it was. Habit 7. I started using used first. Not for everything, but for things where used makes complete sense. Books, certain furniture, tools I use occasionally, and cars, which we talked about in a previous video. The psychological resistance to buying used is real. There's a subtle signal that buying new sends, to yourself and others. But here's the honest math. A used book on a resale platform costs $3 to $5 instead of $25 to $30. Used furniture from a reputable marketplace saves 40 to 70% off retail. A 3-year-old car that's already absorbed the steepest depreciation saves tens of thousands compared to buying new. The quality difference in most of these categories? Essentially zero. The savings over a year of applying this habit consistently? Significant. Habit 8. I stopped going to the store without a list. This one sounds too basic to matter. It genuinely isn't. Research consistently shows that shoppers without a list spend between 20 and 40% more than shoppers who stick to one, because stores are designed to generate unplanned purchases, placement, lighting, end caps with deals. Without a list, you're navigating the store on emotion. With a list, you're executing a plan. I started keeping a running note on my phone for groceries. Nothing gets added to the cart that isn't on the list. The occasional exception, something genuinely needed that I forgot, but the impulsive additions, a bag of chips I don't need, a snack that caught my eye, those stopped almost completely. Estimated annual saving on groceries from this one change alone, around $400 to $600 depending on how often you shop. Habit 9. I learned to negotiate. This one was uncomfortable the first few times, and then it became one of my favorite habits. I've negotiated my internet bill down twice, called, mentioned I was considering switching, and got a better rate immediately both times. I've asked for price matches. I've asked for fee waivers on credit cards. The script is always simple. Is there anything you can do on the price? That's it. Sometimes the answer is no, but sometimes, more often than you'd think, the answer is yes. A one-time lower internet bill, a fee waived, a discount given, these don't feel like thousands, but added up across a year, they quietly are. Habit 10. I do a monthly money date with myself. Once a month, I sit down with my accounts, my budget, and my goals. I check what came in, what went out, where I drifted, whether I'm on track with savings goals, whether anything unexpected happened that needs adjusting. And it's genuinely changed my relationship with money more than almost anything else, because money you pay attention to behaves differently. Not because of magic, but because awareness creates intention. The research on this is clear. A 2026 Go Banking Rate study found the most effective money-saving habits are the realistic, repeatable ones, the small lifestyle changes maintained over an extended period of time, not dramatic overhauls, not extreme sacrifices, just consistent, boring attention. So that's the list. 10 habits. None of them viral, none of them impressive at a dinner party, but collectively, they've saved me thousands every single year. And more importantly, they've made money something I feel calm about, not stressed about, not avoiding, just managing. Here's the thing I want to leave you with. Building wealth was never about one big move. It was always about 100 small ones, done consistently for a long time. And the boring ones, they're boring because they work, every time. All right, that's this one. Hope it felt a little more real than the usual finance content. If it did, go ahead and subscribe. More honest stuff like this every week. And if you want to see where these habits can actually take you level by level, the video on your life at every level of net worth is right there on the left. $0 to $100 million. what it actually looks like. See you in the next one.